I was told when Miss Marcia Smith rings the bell, it's time to start school, so we're very prompt. There are students here and parents, past parents, alumni, faculty and staff, friends of Punahou. Most of you are seeing this for the first time. Some of you have been sneaking in the chapels to see it. It's my honor this afternoon to welcome you back to the campus during this 175th celebration. Punahou School. So we're here to view the Founders Play written by Punahou faculty, performed by Punahou students, but we're also here to witness the unveiling and world premiere of the 175th anniversary song. 175 years. Next to Lahaina Luna School, founded in 1831, Punahou is the second oldest school west of the Mississippi River. I made the mistake. I was in an alumni reunion in Chicago, and I promptly announced that Punahou was the oldest school west of the Mississippi. And unbeknownst to me, there was a graduate of Lahaina Luna in the stood up to correct me, but also to sing the Lahaina Luna alma mater. So. Trustee Ethan Abbott reminded the faculty and staff in the opening faculty meeting that Punahou School is older than 23 of the United States. And 2 weeks ago in Palo Alto, we reminded that we are 50 years older than Stanford University. So we're using the year to celebrate the accomplishments and the contributions of an extraordinary school, not just in the state of Hawaii, but emerging nationally and globally with the reach through our contributions, through our alumni and faculty. We're also using the 175th anniversary to connect our alumni to one another all over the world, but also back to Ka Punahou by sustaining but also launching alumni chapters all over the country and the world. We're also using the occasion of the 175th because I had no doubt that we could throw a great year-long party. Punahou is great, but sort of challenge the trustees, but especially the faculty and staff, to use the 175th to position Punahou for its 200th birthday, for its bicentennial, and many of you have to come back for that. What does teaching and learning look like in the year 2041? Where we get faculty, what does the student body look like? The program, the physical campus. And so what you're about to see, I was able to peek into the freshman chapel last week, and it was a reminder of, this play was a reminder that we, and especially our students, are the beneficiaries of two uncommon gifts. One, the vision for a school by Protestant missionaries, but also the second gift is the gift of the Aina, or the land, by Hawaiian chiefs. And so I think over the last 175 years and into the future, it's the duality of those two gifts. We benefit from both a Hawaiian and Western traditions, histories, cultures, values. In an opening convocation 2 weeks ago, I said to the students, this is what makes this school extraordinary. And this is why they're called to a special destiny and a special leadership. So we welcome you back to Ka Punahou. We look forward to the play and also the song. It's my privilege now to introduce you to Chaplain Lauren Buck-Medeiros. Lauren.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. It is an exciting time to be connected to Punahou School as we celebrate 175 years of living and learning here at the waters of Ka Punahou. This evening, we are thrilled to share with you two very special works of art created for the occasion of our 175th birthday, beginning with a song written by our very own Rosalyn Freitas-Catrachia, class of '82. I've asked Roz to please give us a brief introduction so that our hearing of this anthem will be enriched by our deeper understanding of her thoughts and motivation. Please welcome our composer, the incredibly talented Roz.
Thank you, Lauren. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to let you know a little bit about how the song came about to being. And Kiki, where are you, my beautiful classmate? Kiki, my wonderful classmate of 1982, asked me to write this several months ago. And that's given me several months to be able to think about it. And I wanted to tell you some of my inspiration. First of all, the bulletin, which I do read, and I know you all do too. And there are incredible, inspiring words in here, most of them by Dr. Scott. Thank you so much. And after 10 years of doing Punahou graduations, every year I look forward to everything that you have to say to the graduating seniors, and I am inspired over and over again. So thank you for all those words, which I tried to incorporate a lot of what your messages are in the lyrics. The deans each year, I get to hear 2 different deans each year speak to the kids, and it's so inspiring. Also, at Convocation this last year, right just a few weeks ago, it tweaked a few more things because Dr. Scott, you mentioned something about how you cannot be a part of Punahou and not be changed for good, and at some point in your life realize how special our time at Punahou was. I paraphrased horribly just then, but it really struck me like lightning so much about how, and I wanted to tell you about that. It's because I am a late bloomer. I'm a late realizer. This is where it all started for me, though, right here in Punahou Chapel, because I started at Punahou in 9th grade, and I got chickenpox within the first couple of weeks. 9th grade, chickenpox does not go with anything good whatsoever. And everybody pretty much made their best friends within those first few weeks. So chapel became my dearest friend. And this is where I learned to write songs. This is where I was nurtured to write songs. And so I started here in 9th grade, and this finally, by my senior year, Punahou was home. And I fell in love with it, and I became proud of it. And it took me a while. But I am now a believer, as Kiki and I would say. I'm a total believer. And as I invite my friends up right now, Anya and Emma and Auntie Vicky, come on up. I'd just like to say mahalo to the 3 of you. And a deep thanks to Keli'i Raichel. I do not speak Hawaiian fluently, and he had to make sure that what I was trying to say, that I said correctly. And then Emma and Auntie Vicky came over to the house on Sunday and made sure that I was even more saying it as correctly as I possibly could. And I'd also like to say a deep thanks to my mommy, who is behind the organ, and who I don't do anything without her love and everything. So right now we are sharing with you for the very first time, Punahou Stand Strong.
Started out as a dream, one humble deep desire.
take out your hankies. Thank you. Ah, awesome. Mahalo, Roz, and Vicky, and Anya, and Emma. Beautiful. We look forward to hearing this anthem repeated over and over the course of this celebration year and beyond. Thank you. As we transition into the Founders Play, a few words to set the context. The legend of Ka Punahou is such an engaging story, and one that is very familiar to our student community. Describe the spring found under the hala tree, or say the names Mukaka or Kealoha, and a light of recognition illuminates the faces of our students. Unfortunately, this is not the case with names like Opukaha'ia, Daniel Dole, or Hiram Bingham. In too many minds, Liliha is a bakery, Dole is a pineapple, and Bingham is where their math class meets on C days. Kamehameha is the school we play on the football field, and Ka'ahumanu is a street in Pearl City. Oh, and isn't that part of our chant, too? The 175th anniversary of Punahou's founding is a perfectly wonderful opportunity to hear our story, to make the names of our founders not only known, but their lives and work and dreams honored. Me kaha'aha'a, we humbly present the 175th anniversary Founders Play.
Prologue. Age has touched Punahou only to beautify her, with dignified new halls, wide green lawns,
and tall spreading trees where the din of mynah birds announces morning and evening.
From her entrance leads a stately avenue of royal palms.
And over her stone walls, night-blooming cereus vines lift their chalices in the moonlight.
Water lilies float on her spring, and each year rejuvenated, the school, like the spring, keeps ever young.
Outdoors, the air rings with the fun and laughter of youth.
Indoors, the aspirations and efforts in the quest for learning have continued unbound for
175 years.
Today, we take time to celebrate that long-ago experiment begun with only 15 students in a grass-roofed adobe house. Punahou School, no other so beloved.
Eh ho'olohe, listen. as we weave together the story of a young Hawaiian named Opukahaia who traveled to New England in 1809, inspiring 7 young American couples to become the first company of missionaries to Hawaii.
Ike, behold, the lands of Punahou, the living spring, lands given to the Sandwich Islands mission as a gift from Hawaiian Ali'i.
Ho'omana'o, reflect upon how the anguish of the missionary children being separated from their families turns to joy as a school is founded for them.
Ho'omaupopo, understand the legacy of Punahou, which is ours.
Although Punahou School was founded in 1841, our story really begins almost 50 years earlier.
During the time of Kamehameha, the Great.
Long before missionaries came, explorers like Captain Cook and merchant ships from Russia, England, and America began arriving on the shores of the Sandwich Islands.
For the first time, after centuries of knowing only people of their own culture, Hawaiians began to encounter foreigners who brought new ideas, new tools, and new challenges.
Nothing would ever be the same.
In the Ka'u district of Hawaii Isle, during Kamehameha's wars of unification, a 12-year-old boy found himself caught in a clash of upheaval.
After seeing enemy warriors destroy his home and brutally slay his parents, the boy attempted to flee towards Mauna Loa. He swung his infant brother onto his back to escape, only to have an enemy spear hurled at him, striking and killing his baby brother. The boy was captured and then taken to live with the very man who had killed his family.
Here am I, alone in a wilderness world. When I play with other children, they return to their parents, while I return to tears. I have no home, no mother, and no father.
As the years went by, confused and lonely, he spent hours gazing at the ships now anchoring in Kealakekua Bay.
One day, Opukahaia, as he was called, dove into the water and swam out to an American cargo vessel called the Triumph.
Today, when Opukahaia boarded our ship, he was afraid. So I was glad when Captain Britnell had asked me to speak with him. Opukahaia says that he is eager to sail with us to faraway lands.
Opukahaia worked hard as my cabin boy, learning each new task with ease. On board the ship, his spare time was spent with Thomas Hopu, and later with Russell Hubbard.
How lucky I am to meet this kind young man, Russell, from a school called Yale College. He calls me Obukaya, and he is teaching me the English language.
Today, Obukaya, we will learn the alphabet. Let's begin with O, the first letter of your name. See how it curves all the way around? Now try T. It looks like a tree with only 2 branches. T is the first name of your friend Thomas's name.
Both Russell and Thomas call themselves Christians and are very eager to tell me about their religion. I don't understand much of what they say, but I like the excitement when they talk about it. Oh, and like Thomas, I have an American name now, Henry.
In 1809, after almost a year at sea, the Triumph returned to its home port in New York City, and Captain Britnell took Opukahaia to his home in New Haven, Connecticut.
Dora Britnell, Captain Britnell's daughter. I was captivated by the boy father brought home from Hawaii, better known as the Sandwich Islands. He was sweet and had a nice smile. You should have seen the look on his face when we girls and our mother sat down with father and his guests for dinner. Evidently, in the Sandwich Islands, it is a law that women and men don't eat together.
In many ways, Thomas is like a brother to me. He explains many things.
Watching Opu Kaha'ia makes me laugh because I remember when I first came to America. While we were with the Britnall family, I had helped Opu Kaha'ia learn how to dress properly. Everyone here wears more clothes than we do back on the islands. It can be very cold here, and we need these clothes to help keep us warm.
One day, a Yale student found Opu Kaha'ia sitting dejectedly on the steps of the college.
Say there, aren't you the boy that came here with Thomas? Well, I'm Edwin Dwight. What are you doing sitting here so downhearted and alone?
Well, nobody gives me learning.
Do you wish to learn?
Yes, I do.
Impressed by the young Hawaiian's sincerity and eagerness, Edwin responded,
Come here to the college tomorrow and we shall begin to study together.
Over the next 8 years, Opu Kaha'ia studied, traveled, and worked throughout New England, staying with Christian families who welcomed him into their homes and who shared their faith with him.
studying religion and other subjects on his own and at Yale College. He mastered the English language, wrote a small book about his life, and even attempted to create a written form for the Hawaiian language.
He was always busy learning something new.
John Abbott, one of Henry's teachers. Early this morning, I saw Henry outside with a ruler, measuring all the college buildings and fences. When I asked him why, he smiled and said,
"So I shall know how to build when I return to my islands."
Henry is such a determined young man. In my classes, when he heard a word he did not understand or could not pronounce, it was his constant habit to ask me,
How you spell? How you spell?
When I told him, he never forgot.
In April 1815, after much soul-searching and with the support of his friends, Opu Kaha'ia committed himself to the Christian faith. Once he'd made this decision, it became his passion.
A joy-filled faith motivates and guides the lives of my friends here. Thomas and I spend a lot of time together praying and translating passages of the Bible into Hawaiian. We also speak of ways to share this new faith with our people back in the islands.
During this same time, a great spiritual awakening was taking place in New England. Christians, young and old, flocked to churches to hear the word of God.
I travel throughout the nearby areas and speak at prayer meetings, encouraging ministers to use language that young people understand. Since ministers are a highly educated group of people, well, men specifically, they use language in their sermons that confuses people. My goal is to make sure that they use plain language so that every word is understood. You can't carry a dictionary to a prayer meeting.
Inspired by hearing Opu Kaha'ia speak or by reading his book, many young people eagerly made the commitment to take the message of Christ to distant regions of the world.
Then the unthinkable happened. Opu Kaha'ia fell ill of typhoid fever. Although he was gently cared for by his friends, he failed to recover. As he lay dying, he spoke to those who surrounded his bed.
Above all things, make your peace with God and make Christ your friend. Aloha oe. My love be with you.
With a peaceful smile on his face, Henry Opu Kaha'ia died.
on the 17th day of February, 1818, in Cornwall, Connecticut, at only 26 years of age.
Opukaha'ia's death became the spark that ignited a fire for a mission to the Sandwich Isles. His friends knew that Opukaha'ia's goal was to convert the Hawaiian people to Christianity, and so it became theirs as well. They would go in his place.
Almost immediately, the newly organized mission board chose 7 young men to be the first to go. However, it was determined that first they should be married.
In a great hurry, the young bachelors set out across New England to find wives. Fortunately, there were many young women in seminaries and small colleges who were passionate about mission work as well.
Several of the couples were married only the day before they boarded a small, crowded ship to sail halfway around the world.
This gallant group of missionaries included 2 ordained preachers,
Reverend Hiram Bingham and his wife Sybil.
Reverend Asa Thurston and his wife Lucy.
2 teachers,
Mr. Samuel Whitney and his wife Mercy.
Mr. Samuel Ruggles and his wife Nancy.
a doctor,
Thomas Holman and his wife Lucia.
a printer,
Elijah Loomis and his wife Maria.
a farmer.
Daniel Chamberlain, his wife Terusha, and their 5 children. Remarkably, this first company of missionaries also included 3 eager Hawaiian Christians, Thomas Hopu, John Honolii, and William Kanui.
Together, they set sail from Boston aboard the ship Thaddeus on October 23rd, 1819, with friends and families waving and singing farewell.
Guide me, O thou great Jehovah, pilgrims through this barren land. I am weak, but thou art mighty. Hold me with thy powerful hand.
Significantly, before the missionaries left New England on this long and difficult voyage, even more important changes were occurring in the Hawaiian Islands.
Hawaiians, living in a society regulated by strict laws called kapu, were astonished not only by foreign goods and materials they encountered,
But often shocked by the behavior of the newly arrived explorers and sailors.
Hawaiians watched foreigners break kapu without any consequence or punishment.
Confused by what they witnessed, some began to question the customs and laws that brought order to their lives.
Following the death of Kamehameha, Ka'ahumanu, his favorite wife, and Keopuolani, highest-ranking elite of her time and mother of Liholiho Kamehameha II, first began to challenge the traditional Hawaiian way of life by breaking the Aikapu, laws governing eating.
Since the Ali'i were not punished by the gods for breaking the kapu, Liholiho decreed that men and women throughout the kingdom were allowed to eat together and share foods equally.
Later, Ka'ahumanu, acting as Kuhina Nui, regent of Hawaii, ordered the dismantling of ancient heiau and the removal of ki'i, images of the gods.
It was this time of transition, this spiritual vacuum, that the first company of missionaries encountered when they arrived in Kona on April 4th, 1820, after 164 days at sea.
Once granted permission by the Ali'i to come ashore into the Hawaiian kingdom, the missionaries, who were given 1 year to prove their worth, set right to work preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, teaching, and caring for those who were ill.
Queen Ka'ahumanu noticed how the missionaries worked for the benefit of her people. When she herself fell ill, it was Reverend Hiram Bingham and his wife Sybil who nursed her back to health. Soon after, Binamu, as she called him, taught her to read.
Although Ka'ahumanu had ended the kapu system, she soon recognized the need for something to take its place. So she introduced new laws for the protection of her people, laws that were influenced by her study of the Bible with Binamu, her friend, teacher, and advisor.
In appreciation for all that both she and her people had learned from him, Keali'i Kahumanu wanted to give Finamu a very special gift. And this is how the lands of Punahou came to be held by the Sandwich Islands Mission.
Kane, Lord of creation, God of sunlight, fresh water, and forests. Kamehameha the Great, supreme ruler over all of the Hawaiian Islands. Kame'eiamoku, Kamehameha's respected uncle, and first recorded konohiki, or caretaker, of the land. Huapili Kane, the king's trusted friend and second konohiki. Liliha, Ho'opilikane's daughter, and Voki, her husband, governor of Oahu. Ka'ahumanu, Kuhina Nui, Queen Regent. Finamu, Reverend Hiram Bingham, Ka'ahumanu's friend, teacher, and advisor.
Nā kua a me nā kumu o ka Punahou. For the children.
By 1832, 4 more companies of missionaries had arrived from New England.
Most of the missionaries had large families, but very little time to give their children a proper education. So some tried to teach their children in the early hours before the day's work began.
Others decided on a much more harsh and distressing plan. They would send their children back across the ocean to attend school in New England.
Mercy Whitney, First Company, 1820.
The first of the children to go was our Maria, just 6 years old. Her father said his heart had never come so close to breaking as on that day.
Jerusha Chamberlain, First Company, 1820.
I will never forget those heart-rending scenes. Little children torn from their parents and sent on a long and difficult voyage, often with no one to look after them except rough sailors or distracted ship's captain.
Sybil Bingham, First Company, 1820.
It was a sad, sad day when our Sophia left us. She stood at the rail clutching her only toy, a wooden doll made for her by her father. Our heart said, "Farewell, beloved child."
Between 1820 and 1841, 20 children were sent to be educated on the east coast of the United States.
Laura Fishjug, Third Company, 1828.
As I watched one vessel move from the wharf, there was an affectionate little girl, not more than 7 years old, standing on the deck looking at her father on the shore, the distance between them widening every moment. She reached out her little arms and shrieked with all of her strength, "Oh, Father, dear Father, do take me back!"
As the years have gone by, it has become increasingly clear to us that something must be done for the instruction of our missionary children born right here in Hawaii. Today, at the general meeting of our mission board, we decided to establish a school and begin constructing a building on the Punahou lands as soon as a suitable teacher can be found.
On the morning of May 21st, 1841, after our 9th Company landed in Honolulu, we found the mission board was still looking for someone to be the principal of the projected school. My husband, Daniel Dole, gladly accepted the position.
We thought Daniel Dole was well fitted to become principal of this new school. He was a scholarly man, fond of books. His wife, Emily, was a woman of superior culture and education.
We may now suppose that since a school is to be built, many of our children can remain permanently in this, the land where they were born, and that their influence on its future destinies will be great.
Chosen over a year before, the fine location of Punahou School was situated 2 miles from Honolulu, at the entrance to the beautiful valley of Manoa.
The 20 acres of land embraced all the requisites of a little paradise, enclosed by a rock wall containing living springs of pure, cold water.
Using building materials gathered nearby, the total cost for constructing the school will not exceed $1,000.
We used coral stones for the foundation of the building and formed the new adobe walls of the classroom with mud from the kalo patches. The school building is being plastered both inside and out, whitewashed, and topped with thatched roof timbers.
We are proud to say that the rafters of wood came from Manoa Valley, the peely grass for its roots came from Rocky Hill, and the whitewash and plaster came from our Kewalo coral reefs.
Near the front entrance to the school, the night-blooming cereus vines that Mrs. Bingham set out have found a happy home growing along the wall.
As designated principal, I would like to say that should any of the students wish to become teachers, merchants, mechanics, or farmers, we shall give them an education that will prepare them to be respectable and highly useful in these several professions. It is also important that they may know something of agriculture, so they may all devote a part of their time to the cultivation of the soil.
As the wife of the principal, may I add that the course of female education in this school will be to prepare our young ladies for the highest usefulness. In this delightful retreat, habits of patient and productive labor must be formed. Opening day arrived.
We children crowded into the wagon, hugging our books and slates. Mr. Chamberlain jerked the reins and clucked to the horse.
Through rain showers and across treeless plains, we headed for school. We headed for Punahou on the first day of school. Our wagon carried 4 of my own children, as well as 2 others. In another wagon, Mr. and Mrs. Armstrong and their daughter, Mary Jane.
At length, we reached the gray stone wall of the school, 6 feet high and floor broad. We could see the wind rippling the light green of the sugarcane as we arrived. And in the patches to the left, the darker green of the kala leaves.
Punahou Spring formed a large pond from which flowed several streams, carrying water to the kalo and other gardens.
In the middle of the white one-story building stood the tall, dignified principal, Mr. Daniel Dole. Beside him stood the formidable Miss Marcia Smith from the 8th Company, who would be his assistant. Each student greeted them respectfully.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
We rang the bell at 9 o'clock, and the children entered to find rows of green desks with the lids that lifted and with seats attached. They took their places and all was quiet.
With our Bibles before us, we read in turn. But before we took out our slates, Mr. Dole prayed, asking God's blessing on this school.
Bless these children to thy service. Amen.
We are to be educated in our heads, our hearts, and our hands. At recess, there were 2 turkeys,
A flock of chickens.
and a litter of pigs to visit.
Some of us smaller children climbed onto the low tangling branches of the how tree to play ship.
I am happy to say that I've never seen more interesting children. What a grand place this is for them to grow up. There are streams to swim and dive into, mountains and hills to ramble through on great adventures, and a school to challenge their minds.
Punahou, July 11, 1842. Present in school today were
Oramel Gulick, John Gulick, Charles Gulick, William Gulick.
Samuel Emerson, William Emerson,
William Armstrong, Richard Armstrong, Mary Jane Armstrong.
James Chamberlain, Levi Chamberlain,
Maria Chamberlain, Martha Ann Chamberlain,
Mary Dimmond and Sophia Hall.
A total of 15 students.
This school shall be a spring of wisdom.
As the hollow tree stands firm through the wind of storm,
So shall the children of this school stand strong and brave.
through joy and sorrow.
And just as the holla has many uses, so shall the children educated at this school be useful to Hawaii.
With profound gratitude to our amazing Academy students who brought this story to life and who have now presented this play to all 3,700 students, most of our faculty and staff, and now this evening to about 500 of you, I would like to have them introduce themselves to you now.
Hi, my name is Michael Keong, and I am a senior.
I'm Harley Derrickson, sophomore.
I'm David DiMartino, and I'm a junior.
I'm Natalie Jones, and I'm a junior.
I'm Katya Berthold, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Saunders, and I'm a junior.
My name is Malia Keong, and I am a sophomore.
My name is Kai Cox, and I am a sophomore.
My name is Kylie Scheib, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Celia Kenny, and I am a senior.
Hello, my name is Summer Derrickson, and I'm a senior.
I'm Caleb Belisicon. I'm a junior. Now, we'd also like to take this moment, take this opportunity to thank our amazing pianist, Miss Freitas. I'd also like to thank our IPU player and cultural resource, Miss Ane. We'd also like to thank our sound and lights technician, Uncle Ray. And finally, we'd like to thank our three directors, Miss Elizabeth Cooper Lowry, Miss Heather Taylor, and Chaplain Lauren Medeiros.
Thank you. And I already have my light. Thank you. Lizzie and Heather and I would also like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the collaborative team of Founders Friends. Their names are on the back of your bulletins. Those people whose minds and hearts and talents came together to create what you witnessed this evening. So I'd like to invite the writers, editors, Hawaiian language and cultural kokua, costumers, moral supporters. Would you please stand? Excited to find out about, especially the students. Would you stand if your name was mentioned, if you are a descendant of anyone that was mentioned in the play, or any of the missionary families? Would you stand and be recognized? Another big mahalo to Dr. Scott, our president, and Ethan Abbott, who is the chair of our 175th trustee committee, planning all of the events of this year. Thank you so much. I really want to say a special thank you to Kiki and the whole advancement staff who helped to put this evening together. Thank you so much. Programs say reflections and conversations. It was a challenge to compress years of history into a 25-minute soundbite, accessible to kindergartners through seniors and adults. So obviously, many important details had to be left out of this telling. But that's not a bad thing. In an educational enterprise such as ours, leaving with more questions and more curiosity are the stuff of inquiry-based learning. More light and truth are always there to be discovered and further explored. So, we hope that we've experienced this evening something that can encourage much reflection and many, many conversations as we leave and throughout this historic year. How we thank you all for being with us this evening and for greeting one another as you leave and driving carefully on your way home. come and say hello to some of the actors, and thank you for being here. Aloha.